Hello, welcome to Kitchen Basics 101, where I teach you the bare bone basics as if you've never cooked a day in your life from the perspective of a mom. I just recently lost my Gigi. She was 94 years old and she lived with us and I was her caregiver. And it's inspired a little mini series within our Kitchen 101 series where I'm making Gigi's favorite things. Gigi loved tomatoes, so I'm going to make a creamy tomato soup. I'm using Roma tomatoes for this because they have less water in them, and so you're just going to get more of that concentrated tomato flavor, which is what you want. And you roast them because roasting them makes them so sweet. This knife is so dull. Hold on. We're roasting them because then you get that delicious, like sweet tomato flavor, which I think that's what you want for a soup, right? Plus it's roasted tomato soup. So we're going to do it creamy, but we're going to talk about how to make it vegan because I think that it's so easy with soups to make them vegan. So I'm going to teach you a couple of tricks to thicken your soup, get that richness, get that dairy vibe without using dairy. Optional addition would be to add a red pepper. I don't love peppers or onions, but we're going to blend this soup up. So in that situation, I can tolerate it. And the pepper will definitely add just a great like sweetness and spiciness, which is beautiful. Plus when you roast them up, they become so sweet and lovely. So I'm just cut that off. So I've just halved the Roma tomatoes and taken off the stem. And then you saw I just cut the center out of the red peppers. So we're just going to put that here. Then we're going to cut our bulb of garlic in half. Maybe should use a chef's knife instead of this little tiny paring knife. Yeah, definitely should have used a chef's knife. I'm just going to pop the top off of the garlic. And I'm going to leave it inside of its shell just to protect it when we're roasting it. And then we'll just squeeze it out of here. I'm sure you guys have all seen that. It's a little bit gross. Oh, thank God, I've got my handy dandy chef's knife back. Then I don't like onion, so you can put as much or as little onion as you like. I'm going to put half of an onion. I'm a picky eater, so I understand other picky eaters' plight, okay? But here's what I'll tell you about it, is you need to figure out for yourself, is it the texture? Is it the flavor? Does it change if you hate it? If it is cooked or not cooked? And those things will make a difference. So onion, like I like French onion soup. I don't eat the onion part. So it's not really the onion flavor. Texture, I don't like onion texture at all. I am not a fan of onion texture at all. If I bite into a crispy piece of onion, not for me. So in a preparation like this, where it's going to get blended into oblivion and it's just going to add that subtle sweetness in the background and it's going to be roasted and it's going to be cooked to the ends of the earth, then I can tolerate an onion. So you saw I just sort of broke up my onion because again, this is all going to roast. And then when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, onion, pepper ratio, I have maybe double the amount of tomatoes. That's not enough. It's tomato soup. It's not onion soup. It's not pepper soup. So I have these cherub, the little like grape or tomatoes, and look at this gorgeous bounty. Hello. Okay, the best part about a roasted soup like this is it's like so freaking easy, right? We put it on the baking dish. We're going to put some olive oil on it, give it everything a nice drizzle. We're going to make sure that our garlic has a nice drizzle of olive oil on top of it. Like we've already got so much flavor. Onions, tomatoes, peppers. This is going to be delicious. I'm going to put, of course, black pepper, because I love black pepper. I am a fan of the black pepper. And then, of course, you're going to need salt. Now, tomatoes, they suck up quite a bit of salt. This grinder always makes all of you guys crazy. You think I'm using so much salt, and I'm not, okay? So I'm just going to use a pinch there, a pinch on every tomato. Yeah, tomatoes need a good pinch of salt, or you're going to have no flavor, right? Oh, and you got to put a little on the garlic. Garlic. Look at this gorgeous. Off camera, I gave everything a good toss and a good massage. I'm going to pop it in that oven, 400 degrees, and we'll be back. Okay, let's talk about seasoning. Seasoning police. I didn't put onion powder and I didn't put garlic powder, which everyone puts in everything because I put onions and I put garlic. So that's onion powder, that's garlic powder, right? That's going to add those flavors. Talk about is thickening. So we're roasting in the oven now, and then we're basically going to throw it into a blender, or you could put it in a pot with like an immersion blender. I have a Vitamix, so I'm going to put in the Vitamix. In order to make it creamy, you could add heavy cream. Thus, you would have a creamy tomato soup, which is probably what I'm gonna do, but that's not very vegan. So for the vegans, there's a couple of tricks that I have, and I'm sure all the vegans know this, but maybe you're dabbling, maybe you're new at vegan or vegetarian, or you've never cooked it, and you want some ideas of how to thicken a soup. There's a couple of options. The one that I love the most, but I'm allergic and I can't use, is get some cashews from the store, not like salted cashews, but just like plain blanched cashews. Trader Joe's has great ones. And you're just gonna put like a half a cup or a cup, however much you want, in with an equal amount of water. And you're gonna let it soak while you're prepping everything else. Half hour. Those cashews are gonna pull in all that water. And then when you blend them up with the soup, it makes this dish delicious, like creamy, unctuous. It's magical. A lot of vegan soups use this, which is why I can't eat them, because I'm allergic to cashews. But I used to make this incredible butternut squash soup, and that's what I would use. I would use cashews soaked in water. Fantastic. Option. You could always use canned beans, like cannellini beans or garbanzo beans, right? They're already soaked, they're already cooked, they're already soft. That's a great thickener. You've seen me use bread. You can totally use bread as a thickener, and it'll give you that same unctuousness you're looking for out of a creamy soup. So you could put a little bit of bread. Of course, there's a million milk alternatives: coconut milk, almond milk, oat milk. These are all great. Just consider the flavor profile. For instance, carrot ginger soup, fantastic with coconut milk. Tomato soup, maybe, but maybe not all soups, because coconut milk is going to add like a subtle sweetness that's going to sort of change your flavor ratio. So just consider that when you're using alternate milk, okay? I hope that helps. You can roasty toasty them as much as you want to. I did 450 temperature for about 25 minutes because I wanted them to get like really roasty toasty. And now I'm just going to put all of this into the Vitamix. Okay, I'll be right back. Yes, all the juices too. Be careful, don't burn yourself. Garlic is so hot. I'm using a paper towel to squeeze the garlic cloves out. Oh, if you could smell it, it'd be amazing. So this is the part where if you're vegan, add the soaked cashews, add the coconut milk, add the bread. I'm gonna add just a splash of heavy cream. Off to the blender. Super careful when you're blending hot liquids, because the steam, it can blow up. My Vitamix has like a centerpiece that allows the steam to come out. So be careful when it's hot liquids. If you have a Vitamix, I let it go through the whole setting, the whole hot soup setting. Now we have to taste it for seasonings. Man, that is delicious. Crusty bread, cheese, or some croutons. Yum. So good. Or make a yummy grilled cheese sandwich, because like what is better to dip in here than grilled cheese sandwich? Like nothing, right? That's like a match made in heaven.